Philips TV has announced the world's first OLED televisions to feature 4K 120Hz Dolby Vision support from a Mediatek Pentonic 1000 HDMI 2.1 chipset, namely the flagship Philips OLED Plus 908 and the step-down OLED 808. Here's a quick comparison table listing the key differences between the two models. But let's start with the flagship Philips OLED Plus 908. The television will use LG Display's most advanced META OLED panel with MLA or micro lens array technology, as well as META brightness boosting algorithm to deliver up to 2100 nits of peak brightness, representing a 70% luminance bump over conventional non-EX OLED panels. Thanks to increased light scattering from MLA, the Philips OLED Plus 908 will also benefit from wider viewing angles and improved energy efficiency. As expected, Philips' famous P5 AI picture processing engine is now in its 7th generation on the OLED Plus 908, with the key improvement being a new XYZ light sensor that can now measure the color temperature of the light in the viewing environment, so that the white point on screen will match the real-time tint of the room's ambient lighting, dubbed the V2 version of ambient intelligence by the company. As denoted by its OLED Plus prefix, the Philips 908 will be equipped with an integrated Bowers Wilkins sound system with 3.1 channels, 80 watts of audio output, and Dolby Atmos decoding. The Ambilight technology implemented on the Philips OLED Plus 908 will be the 3-sided Next-Gen version, allowing for not only more precise control of the individual LEDs instead of in clusters of 3, but also a wider color palette, so the Ambilight halo surrounding the screen will look even more refined and detailed when switching colors in sync with the picture on screen. The premium European design is a study in minimalism, boasting a super slim bezel, quadrat cloth speaker grille, and a low-profile central metallic stand. Other features include the new Google TV OS, as well as a new remote control that's rechargeable via USB-C, complete with motion-activated backlighting when picked up. The Philips OLED Plus 908 will become available to buy from autumn in 3 screen sizes of 55, 65, and 77 inches, since these are the only 4K MLA panel sizes manufactured by LG Display at the time we attended Philips TV launch event in Amsterdam in February. Now, I travel around the world a lot to attend various events, so comfortable footwear is very important for me, especially when I need to walk miles and miles to cover different products during trade shows. Towards the end of last year, sneaker company Vessi, who have kindly sponsored this video, sent across their latest pair of Stormburst sneakers, and I have been wearing them religiously for several reasons. 1. With their soft cushioned interior, I feel like I'm walking on clouds all the time, even during long days covering trade shows. 2. With their 100% waterproof Dymatex dual climate knit technology, my feet stay cool and dry and protected, especially when I'm based in Manchester, where the weather is notoriously unpredictable at the best of times. And the rugged, non-slip sole even provides the stability and traction I need on the rare snow days. But the Stormburst sneakers aren't just practical, they're stylish enough for me to look professional when meeting manufacturers at events too. So go check out the Vessi Stormburst and other styles at vessi.com/HDTV test. Choose the sneakers, size and color you want, and use code HDTVTest for 15% off the entire order. Thanks again for your support. Okay, if you can't wait until autumn for the Philips 908, the step-down 808 should hit store shelves sooner, likely in the summer. 5 screen sizes will be available, namely 48, 55, 65, and 77 inches, as well as a new 42-inch version, which is going to be Philips' first 42-inch OLED TV. The 55, 65, and 77-inch 808 will be using OLED.EX panels supplied by LG Display, and TP Vision Philips remain the only TV manufacturer willing to publicly advertise the use of this brighter OLED panel instead of skirting around the issue. In case you don't already know, OLED.EX panels can go 30% brighter than conventional non-EX OLED panels thanks to 2 key ingredients. 1. hydrogen has been substituted with deuterium, and because deuterium packs twice the atomic mass of hydrogen, deuterium-based OLED emitter compounds will be more stable and heat-resistant than previous hydrogen-based compounds, which means OLED.EX panels can be driven brighter without increasing power consumption and the risk of OLED burn-in. Furthermore, LG Display has implemented machine learning that can analyze individual viewing patterns and better predict the degree of OLED pixel degradation on EX panels, therefore allowing for the removal of some metallic sensing lines, which brings two further benefits, namely higher pixel aperture ratio and narrower bezels. Many of the features on the flagship OLED Plus 908 are also found on the OLED 808, such as 7th Gen P5 AI processor featuring Ambient Intelligence V2, 3-sided Next-Gen Ambilight, and new Google TV OS based on Android 12. Design-wise, most sizes of the Philips 808 will be supported on a central metallic swivel stand, whereas the largest 77-inch model will sit on a pair of low-profile feet. Okay, despite the use of a Pentonic SoC, as suggested by the newly added 4K 120Hz Dolby Vision support previously unavailable on Mediatek chipsets, only 2 out of 4 HDMI connections on the Philips OLED Plus 908 and the OLED 808 can support the full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth of 48 gigabits per second necessary for playing 4K 120Hz game in HDR VRR, confirming the news we broke last month after speaking to Mediatek at CES. Note that HDMI socket 2 is also tasked with eARC duties, so if you are using eARC to pass through lossless audio from the Philips 908 or 808, you will be left with only one HDMI 2.1 port on HDMI 1. Of course, it is worth remembering that 4K 120Hz resolution and 48 gigabits per second bandwidth are only needed for playing games, and even a few years after launch, there are only a handful of HDMI 2.1 source devices on the market, such as the Sony PS5, the Xbox Series X, as well as high-end graphics cards from AMD and Nvidia, and also maybe the new MacBook Pros. If you only watch movies from physical media or streaming, if you don't play games, or if you own a PS5 and don't intend to buy an Xbox Series X or a gaming PC, then I would argue that you don't really need 4 HDMI 2.1 ports all capable of 4K 120Hz HDR VRR. Talking of which, all major VRR formats will be supported, including the open standard HDMI Forum VRR from 40Hz to 120Hz, AMD FreeSync Premium, and G-Sync compatibility. In terms of HDR format, the new Philips OLEDs will continue to support Vanilla HDR10, HLG or Hybrid Lock Gamma, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus Adaptive, and IMAX Enhanced, whose certification is contingent on DTS audio codec support. Between the Philips 808 and 908, naturally, the model of most interest to us, and likely our viewers, will be the brighter Philips OLED Plus 908 with MLA or micro-lens array technology. Now, although I don't expect to receive the Philips 908 for review anytime soon, I've managed to do some in-depth measurements on an MLA OLED TV from another manufacturer, and you can find out how bright it gets by watching my first look video here.